Okay, Duron, good morning. Thank you for letting me come to your home. All right, Duron, so go ahead and this is your mental health check-in. So you're allowed to cry, you can scream, you can punch something, you can laugh, whatever you want to do. This is no script. There's no camera crew. It's just me and you checking on your mental health, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and state your name for everybody.
My name is Duron.
Okay.
My name is Duron. Duron, I'm 27.
Hey, where are you from?
I'm from Tampa, Florida.
From Tampa, Florida, born and raised?
Yes.
Okay. So, Duron, we're going to get started, okay? This is your mental health check-in.
Okay.
So, Duron, I'm sure, I think I sent you the link before of the previous episodes. And like I said, this is checking on your mental health. So, have you ever experienced any form of mental health, anxiety, depression, bipolar, whatever, schizophrenia? There's multiple. But have you ever experienced anything that caused you to go through it a little bit?
I don't want to say specifics, but
Okay.
yes.
Okay, did something occur in your life that caused this to happen? You don't have to go into details if you don't want to, but did something happen?
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened. I want to say a lot of stuff happened to where I went super broke. And I ended up having to sleep on floors. I ended up having to go to from hotel to hotel.
Wow.
I ended up having to sleep on couches, sleep on somebody's floor. So there's a bunch of things that people really don't even know. Yeah.
What did that do to your mental health?
Woo. It definitely makes you stronger. It definitely puts something in you. And it kind of puts like a battery in you, right? So the fact that I had to sleep on the floor, go to hotel to hotel, deal with all those type of things and a lot more. It kind of makes you, get prepared for, what's to come, right? So you don't ever want to, double back. You always want to keep, moving forward. That's why now I have my own apartment. I have way more money in my account than I did, previously before. But it just sucked, sleeping on floors, sleeping, it was kids running around Could I curse on here?
I prefer not.
All right.
Okay, I prefer you don't.
But it was like kids running around. It was just it was a lot. And I remember there was one time where right before all of that happened, I was staying at my friend's house because I got really sick, and I was like, I hope she let me stay another night.
Oh,
and
wow.
She didn't.
Did you ask her?
I no.
No. Okay.
I don't ask people for favors.
Okay.
I just kind of, I hope, but
yeah.
And then so when she was like, "Oh, it's time to go," I was like, "Damn." Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, it sucked. It really did suck because I remember she dropped me off that one day, and I said in my head, I don't know where I'm gonna go.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? If you want to, you don't have to tell me.
And it's so crazy how the whole story works because I stayed in all those hotels, did this, did that, did this, did that, did that, and there was one day where I went back to stay with my mom.
It happens.
And then something a lot really happened that I'm not mentioning.
You don't have to wherever you feel comfortable.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
And I remember when I stayed with my mom, I don't even want to say this. I remember I had to stay in this room. It's like a living room. It was holes everywhere in the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
So every time it rained, I would hope it would not rain because water would leak through.
And this is where you were sleeping.
This is where I was sleeping.
Yeah.
It would leak through. It was bugs here, bugs there, bugs there. But it was a certain room. When you go outside that room, you would not know that. You would just not know. But it was a room where it had this, and this, right? So it's funny now when people think oh, Duron this, Duron that, but you don't even know. I had to sleep with holes, and it was mold throughout the ceiling. So like, it was a lot.
What did that do to your self-esteem?
It just made me feel like crap. Like it made me feel weak. Now that's why when people like I try to talk to people, I don't like feeling weak because it's not for me. But I can say it definitely makes you stronger. It definitely puts something in you. Because once you go through something, once you go through your worst, you'll never, or you should never go back.
Yeah.
That should
if you can help it, life happens. Yeah.
Right. That should make you wanna. All right. I got to get a job. I got to make some type of income in order for me to survive. And that's what I realized. So when people say, "Oh my God, you're such a workaholic," yeah, because I'm not gonna lose everything that I'm working for.
And did that, and I'm sure it did, but your mental stability at that time, because you're young, you know, you are young, as they say, young and able, as the older people tell us. But what did that do to your mental stability? 'Cause I know you don't want to go into details about what you went through, but what did that do to your mental stability? Like, were you?
I want to say at that time it was like I was really weak. I remember one time I was sitting on the couch I was sleeping on.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't ever want to go out. And I love skating, right?
Yes, I know.
I love skating.
So I know.
I skate for 2 months, so people wonder why.
Wow.
Now they know why they didn't see me for 2 months because of that reason. Because I was literally on the couch, like I don't want to move. I don't want to move. And it was one day with my mom. I was at her house, and she was like, "You got to get out. You got to get out." And because she said that, things started to
put some fire in you.
It's so weird how all that worked because I did stuff happened and arguments happened. I stopped talking to all that happened between me going back and forth, sleeping on people's floors and doing this, doing that, and then I started to get a job. Then I started to create a brand. And then famous people started to wear my stuff. I started having money in my account.
Yeah.
I started to join. I got onto a famous person podcast.
Yeah.
So all these things started to flow once I got my stuff together.
Yeah.
And I also remember there was one time where, oh my gosh. I remember there was one time where I did not have money. And throughout those times, the crazy part is, throughout those times where I didn't have money, and I was staying at all those hotels, my mom was sending me that money.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because the person she was staying with, it wasn't her house. And she had just moved in with,
whoever.
With
Yeah.
And the crazy part is, oh my God, I was not paying none of those hotels. My mom paid for. Just so happened she had came to some money right before I started to have my little season.
I like how you put that season.
She came into a bunch of money. So just so happened she started to send me money. Hotels was costing $300, $200.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about Airbnb. I knew Airbnb. I'm so stupid when I think about this. I could have stayed in Airbnb for cheaper when I was paying for hotels at that time. But I was staying in hotel. It was costing $200, $300, $400, $500.
Wow.
And she was sending me money. One day she was like, Duron, I was just like,
she don't have it.
No, because she just kept sending. And I had to sleep in my car.
Oh, wow.
And this is crazy too. I had to sleep in my car. And then that's when I ended up moving back with her. And she agreed, okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then my car had went out. As soon as I'm telling you, it's crazy how the story works.
Wow.
It went out as soon as I had moved with her. And I had needed my car all that time because I was going
back and forth, from
hotel, and my car had went out. Haven't had a car since, but got my own apartment.
Yeah.
The job I have now, this is the most job I ever made most money in.
Oh, okay, wow.
I had got on a famous person podcast. So I've done all these different things. And I'm telling you, it's funny how the story works. And then there was also a time where I remember I got like really, 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 really sick during those times. And, and I ended up arguing with people. And now I'm not speaking to the person that, before I slept on. So it's a lot of things.
It's a lot.
In between those times, and yeah, I don't talk to that person anymore. And I end up talking to family members. Like, I remember when I was about to become homeless, and I called 3 family members. Right. One gave me advice. Didn't need that at the time. One was bitter. Because I ended up borrowing money before I went homeless, $50, and they got mad at me that I did pay the $50 back, knowing
you didn't have it. Yeah.
Right. So it was just weird to me, but I was like, whatever. And then I called. I think it was one of my grandmas. I called, and she was just giving me, some sob story about I can't stay with her, whatever. Right. Funny part is I loaned her money. Now I can loan you some money.
Yeah.
And I could loan the other person some money too. But it's not. It was like, wow, really? Like, you would really allow somebody in your family to let you be homeless? And that same night, not same night, but same day, me and my mom were arguing in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know where to stay, and she couldn't let me stay with her.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it was a lot going on. And I ended up getting really sick at that time, and I was just going through so much at that time. Ended up trying to. I remember I was also, when I was sleeping on the floor, I actually had a job. At that time, I actually had one job. And I remember I was working at Rack Room Shoes. Nobody knows none of this, by the way. I ended up working at Rack Room Shoes, and I end up something ended up happening at Rack Room Shoes, and I end up getting turned.
Oh wow. Okay. So back to square one.
Right. So back to square one. I was sitting here suffering. I was like, oh my God, So, and I was trying. Ended up getting a job at Busch Gardens, and I was still really sick, so I couldn't function how I wanted to.
You trying to survive?
So I ended up quitting Busch Gardens because I was like, I'm tired. I'm sick. Like, it's been like a week, I think it was, 2 weeks since I had left Black Room Shoes, and I'm like, oh my God. So that's how, I was still staying with my mom at this time, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. 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 Then COVID happened.
Yeah. That knocked everybody off. But
and then COVID happened, and then I remember they had started sending out checks, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember I had one because I still had this job I had since I was 17. And I had worked there that previous. I think they were doing it somewhere somehow for like taxes or something like that. In order for you to get the funds. So I still had like a little money in my account from working at Rack Room Shoes, I think it was, in Busch Gardens. Because I had worked at Busch Gardens for like, I want to say a month or less. And I ended up using that money, and I ended up using the money I got from the COVID relief thing during the COVID times.
Yeah.
And I got my own place.
So everything was starting to look on the up and up and up and up after all of that. Did you have any suicidal thoughts? If you want to discuss that. Next question. No? No? What would be your advice to someone? Because there are people who are currently going through what you went through. So what would be your advice to someone who is going through that and they feel like suicide's the answer, or they feel that there's no light at the end of the tunnel and they don't even leave the house? Some are homebound. They don't even leave the house.
So I'm really hard, right? So there's nothing. You can make me mad easily, which is the crazy part. Yeah. And I say this a lot to everyone, but you can't really
break
my
you.
Feelings.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you can say about me that I already don't know
about you.
Right. Or there's nothing that you can say that's going to be like, whatever. You can make me mad, but what
would you tell the person?
Question.
Yeah.
I would say definitely you have to keep going. I know that sounds cliche, whatever, but you definitely have to keep going, right? Because I know a friend. They were homeless, right? They were homeless. They were smoking weed. They were stopped drinking. They got arrested and all this stuff. But you have to keep going. You have to find. And I know it's gonna sound kind of like hard and a little bit. I'm not showing sympathy. Yeah. I'm not being sympathetic, but you really have to find when it comes to money. When it comes to making it, you have to find something for you. What's for you is for you, right?
Find a way. Yeah.
Yes. So you have to understand that you're going to go through things constantly, right? But what is a solution? What is a solution? What are you going to do in order for you not to be broke? what are you gonna do in order for you to make transportation to get to your
What's
your
the
bag?
plan?
Exactly. You have to have a plan, and you have to plan accordingly.
Okay. Well, Duron, I do want to appreciate, because I keep this like 15 minutes or less. But Duron, I do want to appreciate you. Let me do this mental health check-in. And how do you feel? Me checking on you,
Oh
just someone checking on you. How do you feel?
Everything I just talked to you about, I haven't thought about, and I want to say a year.
So how does it feel to talk about in someone?
It feels weird because when you talk about it, everything starts to roll back, and then you start to see like in sequence, like dang, like
You went through a lot.
But look where you are now.
Yeah.
Like and look at the stuff that you've done, and look at the people that you met, and look at the connections that you made.
So there was light at the end of the tunnel.
There is.
So Duron, I want to thank you, and everyone else appreciates this when I post it. But thank you for doing this mental health check-in, Duron.
You're welcome.
Thank you.